Where is your son today? He was very, very adamant that he is willing to drive anywhere in Texas to see his son. He is not opposed to if she gets work opportunities or, wants to make a change, but just that it be within Texas so that he can keep a relationship with his son. He would like the we would also like the court to understand and know that the standard possession order is something that Mr. Mitchell feels is very, very fair and very, very equitable. And as well, we're not quite clear about wanting the court to order more than the standard possession order. So we're hoping to get more clarity on that. But all in all, we are very much in agreement with the state. We want to get this order in place and with them as joint managing conservators, the child living primarily with his mother and with Mr. Mitchell having the standard possession order. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and swear the witnesses in. Let's see what we got going on here. Ms. Shelton, here's the deal, ma'am. I'm supposed to put in that geo restriction. That's usually considered to be in the best interest of the child or children that both parents be involved in their life. So you would have to give the court a legal reason why the court should not order the geo restriction as far as that's concerned. And I definitely would need to know specifically why you're asking for something beyond I'm thinking above standard visitation. Again, that's something that doesn't come up too often outside of an agreement. So I'll need to see why you feel again that that's a necessity in this circumstance. And the other items that the state went over, ma'am, you can keep your government health insurance so long as you're eligible. But it's the court's practice to order parties to who have health insurance because it's part of child support that health insurance is going to be ordered. It's not fair to the taxpayers of the state of Texas that that should be done. And the court, and obviously I'm looking out for everybody, including the parties and the taxpayers. So again, ma'am, the burden is there on you why the court should not order standard, they have to maintain health insurance. If you got some special circumstances, we'll get that information, such as the child has special medical needs that may not be covered by their insurance.
The standard possession order, are you familiar with that? You understand what that is?
Yes, sir.
All right, and is that your request to the court that you be given standard possession?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you and you and Miss Shelton able to co-parent?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about health insurance. Do you have health insurance available through your work?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and do you know how much it costs a month to keep that?
Not necessarily. I'd actually have to call the insurance company, but it can be done.
Okay, well, let me. I have some records from your attorney, so let me see if I can refresh you with these. So $622.60. I believe that's the medical portion. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
And then $9.59 is the dental portion. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir. Somewhere around. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And do you have other children besides Junior?
Yes, I do.
And how many other children do you have?
2 other children, 2 daughters.
Okay. And do your daughters, do they either live with you or are you on child support for them?
I'm on child support for them as well.
Okay. So what I did, I went ahead and I took those numbers. It's a little lazy the way I did it, so let me do it better. So the $622.60, that was the medical, I divided that by 4, which is $155.65. So I gave you that credit against your gross income, and then the dental, the $959 divided by 4, $2.40. So I gave you a credit against your gross income of $158.05. Is that acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. And so do you have any objection to the court ordering you to carry the insurance on this child as well?
No, I don't have no objection to anything, no.
Okay. A minute ago, I told the court that your gross revenue is approximately $4,148.43. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, and is that number acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so giving you credit for the insurance and the two other children, I calculated your child support at $534.49. And I'm going to request the court round down to just $534. Is that number acceptable to you?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Okay, and I would be requesting the court start the obligation the first day of the next month. Do you have any objection there?
So that means it's going to start
June the
June 1st. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the retroactive time period. When did you and Miss Shelton separate?
We moved out of the house we had after Christmas
Of what year, sir?
of 2022. So that was January of 23.
Okay. And were you in the same job that you have now at that time?
Correct.
And was the income about the same as it was then?
Honestly, it may have been lower, but it's fine.
All right. So if we take the current child support calculation by 17 months, my number is $9,078. Now, I imagine your attorney is going to probably have something to say about whether that's the number that ought to be used, but do you have any objection to at least the calculation that I've done?
No, sir, not to the calculation.
Okay. All right. And then I'll give your attorney a chance to ask you questions as to why something other than that might be appropriate. I think that's what I have. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Courtney, I just have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Mitchell, sorry. After January of 2023, when you ceased living together, did Miss Shelton remain in the Houston area?
She remained in Houston for, I think, maybe 4 or 5 months, and then she moved to Columbia.
Okay. And so in that time, did she get an apartment somewhere in Houston or anything like that?
Yeah, she had her own apartment.
And what was your participation or with your son at that time, during the time that she remained in Houston before moving back to Columbia?
I was trying to get them every other weekend. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But she did state that she wanted more than what I was picking them up. Like she wanted me to get them more than just the weekend. She did state that.
So there was also a period of time where after your separation, you were keeping your son during the day while Miss Shelton worked?
Correct. Yeah, I did still watch him for a couple of weeks after we separated, maybe a month or so after we separated. I did keep him during the day while she went to work, and we met, and I dropped him back off.
And was this able to be done because you work from home?
Correct, because I work from home.
Do you still work from home now, or was that just during that time?
No, I still work from home now.
Okay. And where is your son today?
With you, sir, or with the mother?
She dropped him off so I can get some visitation. Miss Thomas, please, please. No. We have no.
I have to make it known to the court that you are participating.
I am participating, and I am active, but that's not this. But I am active in his life. She does bring him to me. I do get him. I am active in his life. She can vouch for that herself. Like, she can tell you that. This is not no secret. Like, biggest thing between us.
We just want the judge to know that so that he can make a decision. Right.
Yeah. But yeah.
As far as the standard visitation, your understanding of that is like first, third, and fifth weekend, and for like 42 days in the summer, correct?
Correct. And if I can do extra, I will. Brittany knows if I can do extra, I will.
Okay. No further questions at this time.
All right. Anything on redirect, Mr. Dunn?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Call your next witness, please.
Brittany Shelton. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
Is Brittany Shelton?
Okay. So let's talk about your side of things.
Okay.
The standard possession order. So my understanding is that you're not in agreement with that. Is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay, so will you tell the court what type of visitation that you're asking that be ordered?
I actually talked to Courtney. Well, I asked him last week or the week before last if we could do possibly I keep Junior for 2 weeks and then Courtney could have him for a week. The only reason I am stating that is because Courtney says he will do every other weekend, but he's proved that there have been plenty of times where he didn't get him for months, 2 months, once a month. So, and I feel like he can do more and he knows that. And so that's why I asked him, could he do a week and then I do 2 weeks because he's not in school, he's in daycare. So I felt like he could actually have more time with him. Like we both wake up in the mornings and we both bathe him. Um that's why I was objecting the basically 4 days out of the month because how often do you get a third weekend? So that's actually basically 4 days because he lives in Houston. So we also have to account for either me meeting him or me bringing the child. So it's still not enough time. That's 4 days.
Okay,
So
but
that's
all right, you understand though the court is not going to order him to see his child, right? The
oh
court's
yeah,
going to give him the
I
right
get
to
that.
see his
Yes,
child.
I get that. I was just telling you what I was requesting, and I asked Courtney about this already, and he said that he would see what he could do because now he's proving that he can work from home and he can help with the child. But why does it have to be only on weekends?
Okay,
If
I'll say
so,
here's the deal, ma'am. The Texas Family Code controls here. Texas Family Code says you guys can agree to anything you want. I just can't make things above and beyond what the legislature says I'm supposed to do. Under the law, the legislature says for visitation, it can be set up either as for people who first, third, and fifth weekends, or if you live more than 100 miles away, you can set it up for one weekend a month. But that again, that's what the law says I'm allowed to order. If I'm going to go beyond something like that, and I've never been asked to order beyond that, and so I don't, because again, the statute doesn't give me the authority, really the authority to do that. But you and he can agree to anything you want. It's just that when it falls back down to it, if someone has a disagreement about where the child should be or when the child should be there, the standard possession order that's been delegated as by being fair and equitable by the legislative state of Texas is going to have to control. And I can't order him to do anything above and beyond that, ma'am.
okay, that's fine.
All right,
All right,
so let's
thank you.
talk about the
You may proceed,
geographic.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry, thank you, Your Honor. Let's talk about the geographic restriction. Ms. Shelton, did I tell the court correctly that you're opposed to a geographic restriction?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to have to just be permanently in Texas. If I get a job or something else arise, I don't want to have to be stuck in Texas. I'm sure me and Courtney could accommodate a flight or driving and things like that. So me having to be stuck here, I don't mind you, he can go wherever he pleases. That's not, I don't agree to that.
Okay, so
I-
let's talk about that a little more. Do you have any job prospects in other states right now?
Yes, but I'm not moving out of Texas. I don't see it in my future right now, but I don't want to agree to that. And then God blesses me with something and then I can't, or I have to take it to the judge. But no, I don't plan on leaving Texas. I'm okay. I just don't want to be restricted if I chose to leave. That's all.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the health coverage. So did I tell the court correctly that you're opposed to Mr. Mitchell carrying the insurance on his son, on y'all's son?
No, he can carry Junior. He just, if we're gonna both split the copays, I need that in agreement because I don't want to take the child to the doctor and I tell Mr. Mitchell like, hey, the copay is 200, I pay 100, you pay 100, and he says, hey, I'm gonna send it, and I never get it. So I just want to not have to go through that. So I don't mind him carrying.
Ma'am, slow down. There's sections in the order that will cover how you handle the copay and the copay reimbursement. There are timeframes built into all of this. if there's a copay bill that comes up, you pay your half, and he has so many days or within a time frame to pay his half. Otherwise, he's in violation of the court order. It's all
That's
covered in
fine.
there, man. Believe me, this it's a
Okay, that's fine.
30-year-old work in progress, and yeah, it covers all that. Yeah, but
Okay.
you may have, it's gonna take you. It's about 5 pages long, and you're gonna have to do some serious reading. If you don't have any, you don't understand what it means in some spots, you may have to ask your own lawyer. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Downey.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so let's, Miss Shelton, let's talk about the child support calculation. So $534 is my number if Mr. Mitchell is carrying the insurance. Is that number acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. And then let's talk about the retroactive time period. So I think you heard my calculation already, but I did 17 months. So that's beginning January of 2023 through, well, I'm calling May a whole month, so May the 20th today of 2024. So 17 months by $534 is $9,078. Is that number acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay, and it sounds like you're not in agreement with going lower than that. Is that correct?
I'm open.
Okay. So what type of visitation? Tell the court that. I mean, I think what this comes down to, and I'm not trying to make this ugly. Your position is that Mr. Mitchell has not been as involved as you would like. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, let's just get to it. All right. So can you tell the court in a couple sentences what the involvement level has looked like since y'all separated?
I think I've already explained. I think I've explained that I'm not going against the family code on this one. Okay. And I expect they can agree to anything they want, but for me to go beyond the family code without some type of special circumstances, then I can't do it. So if you can ask her about special circumstances that there's a special needs child or something along those lines that requires more input from the other parent, then obviously I can see about it. But that's still going to be kind of difficult. But I need that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Oh, okay, so how about that, Miss Shelton? Can you point the court to any specific reasons why maybe that number ought to come up?
Oh no, I don't think it should go up. If that's what you calculated, that's correct.
No, he's talking about the visitation now.
I'm sorry?
You're talking about the visitation. Are you talking about the visitation or the
Oh,
child's,
I'm sorry, Your Honor. No, I wasn't real clear. I
Oh.
think there's some dispute about the retro calculation. Ms. Shelton, I think her position
okay.
is that Mr. Mitchell has not been as involved as he should have been. Mr. Mitchell's position is that he's not been given the opportunity to be involved. And I don't know if the court's going to consider those factors or not to the retro, but in the hope of trying to streamline this.
Okay, the retro is the full amount. So and the interest alone on that is $45 a month as calculated right now. So
yes,
I've got
Your
to do
Honor.
something above $45 a month for payments. Otherwise, the thing it's gonna grow. So, but I'll let you go ahead and finish that one up. Then I'm sorry, I switched back on you. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, Your Honor. I wasn't so clear with my transition. Anyway, Ms. Shelton, what's in a couple sentences? What's Mr. Mitchell's involvement with y'all's son been from when y'all separated?
We actually separated in October. Courtney helped me with what he moved out October 31st. He helped me for the month of November. December, he actually stated he could no longer watch Junior while I went to work. And then we had to leave from that home. So I got an apartment literally like 30 minutes away just so I could keep him active in his son's life. I had no support, no friends, no family. Courtney would come over once a month, if barely that. So he already knew that we would be moving back to Killeen. That's why the court is handled here. He has 2 other kids that are 10 minutes away from Junior now. So all of his kids reside in Bell County. He decides to reside in Houston. So him saying that I'm not allowing him to have his time, that's incorrect. That's really it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Even when I moved here, he has only been down here 2 times to pick up Junior. His mother has taken Junior and the other kids maybe 3 or 4 times, which is maybe it's been like once a month. But she did disappear for about 3 to 4 months. So Junior didn't see her since December. He just saw her in April, March, when she took them. So I'm not understanding where he's saying it's me or that he's tried and I haven't let him, because I've actually been asking for more. So, and I don't mind bringing him to Houston, as you can see. So I'm not sure where Mr. Mitchell got that from.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Shelton. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you
Ms.
very
Shelton.
much. Ms. Thomas, your witness.
Ms. Shelton, I just have a couple of questions.
Yes, go for it.
It seems as the recurring theme is that there has not been consistency, in your opinion, with regards to Mr. Mitchell seeing Junior. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
And do you understand that putting a standard possession order in place is designed to give that consistency so that all parties know when either parent is supposed to be in possession or have the opportunity to be in possession of the child?
Yes, I understand that. Is that, yeah, I understand that.
And then also with regard to, you understand that this court's job is to make a best interest determination for your son? Is that, do you
Yes.
understand that?
Yes.
And so can you understand that a geographic restriction is less about restricting you and more about keeping access for the parent, the non-custodial parent, to have access to their child?
I understand that, but he currently has access now, and he chooses to do what he can or what he would like to do. So I don't think it's
And
gonna
right now you're
stop
not under,
us. I'm sorry?
but you're not under an order right now, correct?
No, and we
Okay.
completely get along, we communicate. I don't think we would have an issue. And I don't think I would not let him not see his son. So I'm open to driving and meeting him, even if I did live in a different state. He knows this. That's my perspective on it. I'm open to helping him, even if I move. I have no issues with that.
At this time, can you understand how another parent would want to ensure, if there is going to be consistency, to ensure that the child is kept someplace where they can get to them?
But it's already been inconsistent and he hasn't been getting to him currently. So you're speaking for the future.
Right. And that's
Right.
because the order is supposed to govern the future, correct? That's what we're hoping, that the order will govern how the visitation and everything goes from this day forward. Would you agree with that?
I understand that.
Okay.
I get that part.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, anything on redirect, Mr. Diamond?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'll go ahead and listen to closing statements at this time, folks. But right now, ma'am, I'm looking at, this is toward you, Ms. Shelton. I'm looking at following the family code straight out, naming you both joint managing conservators, giving you the right to stay domicile. Now, ma'am, what do you do for a living? What's your occupation?
The IRS.
Okay, so you work for the federal government?
Yes. But I am taking a new
All right,
job within this next week.
and what's the new job?
It's called Hop Skip Drive. That's the company.
And where's that located?
I'll be fully remote.
Oh, okay then. So you'll be in Killeen.
Yes, I'll reside in Cleveland. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. And what do you do for the IRS right now? What's your job description?
I'm a contact representative, so I take calls and help with bill payments and things.
All right, and your new job is going to tell you doing what?
I'm gonna be actually like dispatching it's like a Uber for kids with disabilities or kids in school, like public schools.
All right, got it. All right, ma'am. See, I'm trying to figure out what the prospects of you actually leaving the state of Texas. Because again, I'm a geo restriction guy. I want both parents responsible or in their children's life, and unless you and always I go geo restriction, and if you do get something lucrative or something, say you want to go back and work for the IRS, and they're offering you a nice job in DC, and you need to move to DC, guess what? I'll let you move to DC. All right. But I don't do it on speculating that someday this may happen. You got to
That's
come
fine.
tell me what the circumstances are and what's necessary. All right. So I'm looking at putting in the geo restriction. I'm looking at guideline support. I'm looking at ordering the retroactive amount of child support is calculated and ordering the repayment. And again, I'll make it $75 a month, Ms. Thomas. But again, I got to do something toward that interest. I'm looking at
understandable,
going
Your Honor.
ahead and I'm looking at going ahead and doing the standard possession order. Again, you guys can agree to anything you want. You can agree to how you want to travel and do it and pick up and drop off. That's great. I want y'all to do that. But fair agreement, you fall back on the possession order. And right now, ma'am, that would again, that technically would be him picking up at your resident at the beginning and you dropping off at his at the end visitation. So again, y'all want to agree on something 50-50 or halfway? Yeah, Houston is there's about there's about 6 different ways to get from Bell County to Houston. And believe me, I went to law school in Houston. I tried every darn one of them, and none of them more than 10 minutes faster than the other one. Okay, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But y'all do need to figure out if y'all going to do a drop off halfway, where that point is, and how y'all want to do it as far as that's concerned. And I'm looking at doing the, like I say, doing the retro and on the repayment, as I previously said. And at this point, I'm not looking at making either party be responsible for attorney fees going forward. I will make, court costs going forward. And I am looking at making, setting up, I did the visitation, I did the child support. Okay, well, that's pretty much it, ma'am. I'm looking at doing straight across the board in accordance with the family code. Is there anything you're asking me to do different at this time, ma'am?
No, sir.
All right, then. Is there anything you're asking me to do different at this time, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, as long as, we were just mainly concerned with the geo restriction, which you've already
And I'm
spoken on.
again,
And we do appreciate we appreciate the retro at 75 a month.
all right, good enough. And of course, anything extra he wants to play toward that, that's fine. Is there anything else specifically extra you asking me to do on this one, Mr. Diamond?
Nothing further, Your Honor. I think everything was covered.
All right, Ms. Shelton, since you're not a lawyer, I'm gonna give you one last opportunity to tell the court anything else at this time, ma'am. Because again, I'm getting ready to let the state prepare that paperwork and send it down to you. Like I said, it's gonna be about 18, 19 pages long. And it'll have a lot, it depends on if the visitation is internally into the document or it's attached. It'll be either 18 or 30 pages long. So it is what it is. So do you have anything else, any other questions at this time, Ms. Shelton?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks, good luck. And I'm gonna let the state prepare that and circulate that to Ms. Thomas, and then Ms. Thomas, you get Mr. Mitchell to look at it and sign off on it. And Ms. Shelton, if you have any questions about the order, you can ask the state that. They'll try to answer to the best of their ability of what it actually says, and they can do that. But they can't give you any legal advice on what on the order itself, ma'am. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all very much. And I guess y'all all free to go. And well, 2-year-olds don't have to get off of school at 3 o'clock, so you're good. So there you go. So
Thank you, Your Honor.